Checking 2. Voice on. Voice isolation. Yeah, we're doing test. Checking 2. Checking 1, 2. Yeah, that is so weird. So it weirdly works when I'm testing it like this. Otherwise, I don't know what. Welcome then. Try and iron that out later on Discord. What's going on? We'll just stick with Zoom for now. Yeah, there was one problem with the. I changed the setting today, and I think that could be the reason why. Yeah, we got a like small little bug over there. But anyway, guys, welcome back to the stream. Attempted to take a sell here on gold. It did play out, but you know, got stopped out before price, not by even much, just like a few pips, couple of pips. And then price just rolled over and then started moving down bearish. But the idea was like, you know, price could fill this range here on the left-hand side. That would break below support to continue to come down like this. You in this? Anybody take some sells over here? That range is pretty nice. You got a range from here to here is like 76 pips. Nice little accumulation. Nice little head and shoulders over there too. Right over here, you got that fake out. You got that nice little fakie. And then volume started coming in on the right shoulder. Fill this region up over there. You took a swing entry. Because we're not moving bullish today. So looking at these sells had a pretty good chance of playing out. I did get the sell, but with small lot sizes. Don't want to start the day with a big loss. Yeah, me too. I reduced risk on that sell because I'm still, I still want to see gold move up bullish. Because look at where we are on the daily. Just creating a bottom wick over here. Already formed a bottom wick. We're still trading at the all-time highs too. There's a small little buy setup that just happened over here as well. I think it slightly played out. Let's see actually how much it pushed. Pretty decent push, but yeah, stops below here. Kind of sketchy. Volume is heading towards the downside anyway. You can see the head and shoulders here a lot nicer though. The shoulder, head, right shoulder. Then starting to come down like this. Is that scaling into long? Definitely no direction, but there's a chance that gold can start moving down soon. Because we're down like 0.34%. There's a pretty good probability that price can keep going down here. It's already kind of tested this range as well. If you notice, kind of already tested a bit of this range on this wick. So there's not that much left. There's support over here. Yeah, it's just about 22 pips. But you see, the problem is we got like so much, always like a hard area to get through. You see for these sells, how we had like a lot of these rejection wicks. It's never a good sign because you never know when these pullbacks are gonna come, and it can kind of gets messy over there at that point. The same thing's happening here now too. Gold's creating like a bunch of rejection wicks. So any sells here, they can start to get a bit messy as it comes down. I think it's normal because, we've already had a pretty good week so far and price has been moving quite nicely. So it's not weird to get at least one day out of the week to not be trending as cleanly. It's Thursday here. We're going to see what happens. Maybe it forms a support here and then starts ripping back up. See 15 5-minute, what's going on? 30 like pretty much done this one move, so it has to recalibrate again. You can see from point A to point B. The question is like, it's not gonna have the easiest time to move up here. You got another small range. Also the daily's still bearish, so it still has a lot of like weight to lift. But there's a 23 pip range above here. But I would say this is like the main move from this point down towards support. Right now, nothing at all. Unless price starts to come a bit closer to that resistance. and then see what happens. See how the candlesticks start to close around here. Maybe we'd even get some kind of a good structure for a shotgun play, for example. You know, create a support and then nicely close above that resistance. Pretty decent close like this. And then keep moving up bullish. It's still a good range, you know. 23 pips not bad at all. But of course, compared to something like that, that's a lot nicer. That's a lot more visually intriguing. Yeah, I gotta wait and see now. RTC connecting voice. Oh, you see it goes red here. Locked and loaded. RTC connecting, no route. Yeah, it could be something to do with VPN probably. No, 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 no. Massive accumulation here though. Got some support. Got resistance. It's getting ready for another big move soon. But it needs to see if it breaks below either these lows or these highs. I think that's got something to do with my VPN. For some reason, it's losing connection. You see voice details and it's gonna go no route. But it's weird. It didn't do that yesterday. Check out this fancy article. Alright, Discord. Let's see what it is. Hey, good morning, guys. Price bounced perfectly after I did create a bottom wick for the previous H1. The 4-hour looks. Still super bullish here on gold though, overall. Look at this. It is pretty nice extension there. You can still say this thing push up all-time highs today, to be honest. You might be looking at 4100 as a psychological mark for the rest of the day. Oh, 41. Actually, no, 4100 is a bit ambitious, actually. That'll be a massive daily candle. Say like 4070 and like 4070. Nicely accumulating here though. This would be an awesome breakout if we had some direction. So we're gonna label this here like a no trade zone. What's this, Ricardo? Not an easy day today. In one trade risk 2%, I was in drawdown. Yeah, today's not, it's not the easiest. It's because of those wicks. Getting a lot of wicks being built up. Especially for the direction that you want to go, you know. If this sells off, it's going to be a lot more tricky than if it actually breaks above the highs. But at the same time, if it breaks above the highs, the daily candlestick is still bearish. If it breaks the lows, we can have a good confluence with the flip of the 1 hour candle. Yeah, if you're looking at higher time frames, like even the 4 hours not even looking good. You got 4 hour support right there. Got hourly support right here as well. It will be a tricky zone. It will only be based off 30 minute at least looks a bit decent. There's a little room here on the 30 to move down. So like 95 pips. I think if you're looking more of the 30 minute, at least the 30 minute looks good. Also the 15 minute looks good. See, 5 minutes kind of choppy. So at least got 15 and 30. So even if 15 candle breaks below the support area here, and then it continues to move down like this. Also, the daily at that point should be pushing past that 40% zone. That 40% zone is like a psychological barrier as well. Because, is something happened geopolitically because structure is all over the place? Yeah, man, I don't think so. Let's see anyway. No reason why gold prices can't keep surging. Traders are asking whether gold prices have more room to run. And like equities, there are no valuation ratios to judge whether it has become too expensive. How much value? As much as people think it has, she says. If one Bitcoin is trading above 120,000, gold surely has endless upside potential. Yes, even with record high prices, the medium-term outlook for bullion remains positive. Many investors are already eyeing a move towards $5,000 and above. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's no reason why Bitcoin, gold should move down. Unless it's just pullbacks. Small retracements. Maybe we got a consolidation date today. On the daily. Reset voice settings. I got not even lots of trades here. The doctor. This is a trade from what? Was this today? Oh, was it yesterday? Oh yeah, that would be actually really nice. Little mini accumulation there before it breaks. It's gearing up definitely. This is currently at a bus stop here. And all it is just an option, right? So if you feel like it's a good option, so this is going to be the option here. Don't feel like it's a good option, then there's going to be another option. Wherever it goes to next, wherever it distributes to next, then you're going to get another option, another bus stop. You get another bus stop. And then that just basically keeps repeating itself. Now, this is one of the more cleaner ones to see though. Definitely a lot more cleaner. If it moves up, you got that 5-minute resist support level here. You got a bunch of rejection wicks. Huge amount of rejection wicks, at least in your favor and confidence for the buys. For the sells, ooh man, it's gonna be like, sometimes you get it where this is like a false support that's being formed. It makes it seem like it's an actual support, but in reality, it's just gonna reject. I mean, it's just gonna, you know, just kind of like create that false support, then volume comes in, but it's not the most comfortable. A situation like this was a complete range. If you go on the 15-minute, you had wicks to the highs, and you also had wicks to the lows. So that was just a pure range. But in this scenario, it's just mainly to the lows, I feel. Let's see that 15. Yeah, it feels a little bit more mainly to the lows. Small little another accumulation happening here. Might even come in sooner. Might break from these highs. Might come in a little bit sooner there. Nice little fakie over here too. So you got resistance. Nice little fakie down there too. Nice little accumulation. Then get the break as it breaks those highs. So a safer one most likely is above this high right here. But I'm not touching this, guys, because like for me there's no direction here. I think the only direction I'll get is if it comes down, because then the daily will at least be like down negative 0.40. Because right now I still got to think about this weight. But you know, it's not a bad idea though. You can see like prices overall moving up bullish, predominantly bullish. It's just not the ideal kind of like the one that you see and you're like, oh man, this is the one right here, like the one from yesterday. Slightly a bit different dynamics. You can see within the pre-sessions we're not moving bullish. Pre-session was more of like a pullback. So definitely different vibe today. Oh yeah, I think what this Discord thing here is, what I assume it is, it's most likely my VPN. It's the RTC connecting, voice detail. Then it's going to go no root. I think the trick is to try with a VPN before I go on stream. To try and get a root from the VPN like yesterday's root, which was seeming to have no problems with Discord. Sometimes it's like a gamble, right? With VPNs, you get like a good route, sometimes you don't. UDP. Alright, slightly lower. Was on slightly lower, but the more reliable technical. There's the volume. It looks like it's kind of waking up a bit here. It's trying to push. Yeah, it's about to wake up here. This a small one that's currently, as I mentioned, there's a small one here as well, because you know markets are fractal, correct? You got this bigger one, you got the smaller one right there. It's trying to break out. What does market fractal mean? It just means like anything happening on higher time frames can also happen on lower time frames, or vice versa, because you know the structure is the same, right? Like if someone just gave you a random chart like this and you didn't know what time frame this was, it could be any time frame. It could be the daily chart, the weekly chart, 15, 5-minute. So it all happens from. That's why if you're gonna trade the higher time frame thinking it's safer, it's not really safer, because it's just like it just takes longer for the plays to play out, correct? So you don't really know if someone just shows you a chart like this. This could also be the 1-minute chart, but this is hourly. Yeah, I see what it is here. Zoom. Because my VPN does not have this thing called UDP, but it's on auto right now. It looks like when we got it like auto yesterday, it picked like a good protocol. It's a VPN protocol. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to experiment with which one works a little bit better with Discord, so I can remove it from auto. See, it says here Discord works only works on VPNs that have the UDP. It worked yesterday, so I figure we can do it again. Much like a strategy. If you got it work once, if you can make money once with it, then you know you can make money with it again. It's breaking. Goldie's trying to push up. I don't know where this low volume is. This is the London Open. We've just been setting this thing up here. Can I get your analysis on DAX? No, I don't trade DAX. You can send a chart though on Discord. Too much money. Happy birthday, bro. It's my birthday today. Looking to full port my account. Hey, best of luck. You're gonna need all the luck you can get. But right now, it's definitely not a full port environment. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not full port. You don't even have direction here today. You see like how the breakouts are kind of like pulling back quite a bit. Also, before pre-sessions, a lot of choppiness, pullbacks. So I would say like the safest bet would just be to wait for price to trend. Like wait for it to start moving. Again, like showing some kind of a direction. Maybe today is a pullback day. Maybe today on the daily we just get more pullbacks than buys. And price continues to push down. But don't jump the gun. Do I trade Bitcoin? No. You can do analysis on Bitcoin, but don't trade it. Bitcoin's just been hovering. Let's see, where's it been hovering here? Starting to create. Oh, just create all-time highs on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's kind of waking up a bit more. It's at 120 now. Hit an all-time high with analysts noting it is retesting previous peaks and indicating potential for further price gains. Surge past 126,000, marking a new all-time high and contributing to the broader crypto markets rally. Driven by 1 billion in spot ETF inflows, mainly from BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust amid the US government shutdown. Oh, that's why it's moved up here. See what this is. Bitcoin falls after Fed minutes show divide over rate cut path. Let's see if anything changed on the SMC group. SME. Probabilities, I'm guessing, should still be well, what do we saw it at 90 last time? Yeah, it's still at 90. Got 92.5%. So nothing seems to have changed there. Even though we had gold move down interestingly enough yesterday. Oh, we got Powell speaking today. Let's see. We got Powell speaking today. This is going to be quite important. This is at 8:30. Into 30 minutes into New York session. Okay, no wonder now we're starting to see a little bit of interesting PA here. So that's going to be definitely a factor to the way gold spot's going to move for the rest of the day. We got Powell speaking today. Holy. Do you think gold is really overpriced? I just think FOMO made it run to 4K. No, I think gold can just keep on running, man. 5K even, it's just gonna go up. So it's not overpriced. If anything, it's underpriced in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so for me today, that's it. That's the only trade that I've taken. Just one gold trade here. Down about 1.20%. Don't forget to drink water, sir, before swimming in the market. Price made a decent consolidation breakout, didn't take it. Took sell after price created another support and made strong closure below. And there was an advantage point where the H1 didn't have a bottom wick. Man, can't wait for Battlefield tomorrow. Battlefield's coming out. Battlefield 6. Let's go. Get some PTSD in me for the weekend. And that game's awesome. They really brought back the OG Battlefield vibes. Quite excited for that one. Yeah, definitely look that, man. This year, I think definitely one of the best online multiplayer games of the year. It's gonna be. If not the best online. Not pirating? No, we can't pirate that one. Not if we want to play online. You gotta get it. Plus, it takes a while to pirate the game. You know, like if it comes out, it's gonna take quite some time before a fit girl does her thing. Plus, I think if you pirate games that you're playing online, then I've never done that before. What's BO7? When I looked this morning, we was tentative unemployment claims, but that not happening. Now it's gone. It's government shutdown is creating a lot of. I don't even know if we're gonna get the NFP at this rate. Yeah, I mean we did have unemployment claims, right? The stream is even called unemployment claims, but it's been removed. We didn't even have ADP. Did we get? We didn't have ADP. And Friday, it looks like NFP has been removed as well. Look at this. NFP is no longer there. And Powell is speaking today. Oh. So he's going to talk about this government shutdown and we're going to see how price behaves. More strategy games, especially card games, just finished today's Spire during the forex session. Oh, nice. This is your Steam? My Steam is on like level 0. Only game I played on Steam because I pirate a lot is a Hogwarts Legacy and Remnant 2. Pretty much those are the only 2 games. There's one more game, I forgot what it was. My Steam's on level 0. Very nice. You've unlocked 28 out of 30 achievements. Sheesh. How much is a Hogwarts Legacy? I think it's 40, right? I think I got like 20 out of 40. It's like 30 or 40. Some nice hours on that game. Get people some sniper shots. Some snipers to the head. Looking bullish on the M30. M30, yeah, it looks like the M30 has like some room to keep moving up there. M30 got about like 68 pips up towards like that resistance point. Goldie's trying to break out. You see, it's slightly trying to push over here. I don't know why it keeps breaking these highs and pulling down. Doesn't seem like a zero drawdown type of day yet. It just needs to be timed very nicely. Very nicely. I don't like the way this is like trickling up like that. See how it's trickling up over here? Still 2 achievements to do. I will give it a go during NY. Oh, Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops has been... I kind of give up on Black Ops right now at the moment. It's something a little bit more realistic. I like the fact that no one's doing like 360 or 720 no scopes and, you know, that crazy Black Ops behaviors. This just feels a lot more grounded. And some weird Black Ops. Like, there's this kind of a... Wait, let me see if I can find it. This weird rainbow kill move, Black Ops. There's this weird unicorn finishing move where this thing, like, I don't know what it does. It sucks you in its butt or something. Like, this is the reason why I don't play Black Ops anymore. It's like, it's getting too much into these agendas, you know? I don't like these. I don't like it when movies do that or when video games start to do these things. It's honestly disgusting. So I'm just sticking with, I'm definitely rolling over to Battlefield completely now. I do like Black Ops zombies though. That's one thing that, for me, zombies really fun, but I just can't play it anymore. Look at this. I mean, what the hell is this? You can't even compare that to the cinematic battles of jets, fighter jets flying above your head, freaking buildings destroying and falling on your head. Man, the sound just sounds so much nicer as well. Freaking hell, man. This game is gonna be sick. Getting those fighter jets. It's pretty insane what these guys are doing. Like in real life, people who fly these fighter jets, man, insane. Because the amount of what they call like G-force, I think for a regular person, I think above like a 5 G-force is gonna be quite crazy for you. You gotta stop blacking out. They get to like, you know, 7, 10 Gs. Like apparently the push so hard, you know, because like with the G-force, you gotta kind of like push to keep the oxygen in your body. And at the same time, what they do is like they wear really tight pants. So the blood flow, when you're getting a lot of G's, all the blood from your head comes down like this. So they wear like really tight pants, so like the blood doesn't go past the waistline over here. But at the same time, you have to really push like to hold, I know, keep air in your system. But they push so hard that the blood vessels pop. So after like, you know, dog fighting or, you know, like a long trading, you're gonna go home most of the time. This is what these fighter jet pilots usually say. And like, you got rashes on your hand from all the pushing because your blood vessels are popping. It's a crazy thing being a fighter jet pilot. I always thought if I was ever gonna go to the army, I would be in I would want to be in one of these things rather than being on the ground. Yeah, but gold's trying to pop here. Can we get a pop? Low volume. It's popping above, but kind of coming down quite a lot. Play Pal World and Palia. You will stop hating people. Just roaming around, pure having good time with good background music. Pal World and Palia. What do you mean you will stop hating people? I don't hate people. People equal liquidity. Where's the volume? Yeah, no volume. Because it even broke these highs and it's pulling back into the gulag. That's why I mean there's no sense of direction, and also the fact that Powell is speaking today is going to be definitely a catalyst to what we can expect for the rest of the day regarding PA. The jet pilot. Tell the volume formula in mathematics. Ask ChatGPT. What's the volume formula in mathematics for the markets? It's a bit nuanced because volume in the markets isn't geometric quantity like in physics or math, but it borrows the same concept. It measures the amount of something that has changed hands, usually shares, contracts, or lots over a certain period. Mathematical formula for trading volume. There's no single formula like geometry, but in market math, volume is calculated as volume equals E squared, some kind of weird signs over there, where QI is the quantity and the total number of transactions. Volume equals total number of units traded within a time period. Yeah, you know, this is a lot of rocket science. Don't need to know this to tell me the market's not going anywhere right now. And you can also kind of, you know, I think like there's something about creativity and experience that just beats or trumps all other things. You know, because I've always found like when you put something too analytical, sometimes it also creates like a ceiling or an impossibility. You know, if you think about like how you even have electricity, and right now we have a lot of these things which are like miracles, right? In our day-to-day lives, we don't even think twice about how a phone works. But back in the days, such things like that would be considered almost like impossible. You know, so I feel like your analytical part of your brain, it sometimes creates a lot of difficulties. It doesn't allow you to be a little bit more fluid. Because if you're using a volume profile right now, maybe the volume profile, there's a point of interest over here and it's showing you like huge bars. And, you know, sometimes you can get too much into the indicators and start not understanding like what's actually moving the market. You know, because indicators don't really have much to do with that. It's like you can just tell on certain days, like if this is going to be a good day, if it's not going to be a good day. And all that just comes with like experience. And nothing beats experience, to be honest. That's why you got famous musicians. If you ask them to like even maybe write you some musical notes, man, they probably don't even know how to read musical notes or write musical notes, but they're just like naturally gifted, correct? So I think like that's my approach to markets. But you know, other people like more of like analytical in terms of all that other stuff, but it just creates a lot more confusion for me personally. So I think the best way is always just put in the chart work. Like the more you show up onto the charts, you know, if markets only move these three directions, then over the years, you start to build like an understanding of how markets behave. Let's say when there's a presidential election, when there's geopolitical tensions, when, you know, there's these things happening in the background, right, man? When Powell is due to speak and the way the economy has been, you see right now we have the US government shutdown and Powell is due to speak today. And at the same time, unemployment claims has been removed. The NFP has been removed. Like nothing prepares you for this except experience. Right, and then you put those pieces together and you're like, well, you know, like kind of makes sense why price has been behaving the way it's been behaving today on gold, correct? And you can see it from the pre-London session. We can also even see it right here. So you don't need to overcomplicate it with unnecessary tools. You just need to show up and actually put the work in, and you just naturally get better. That's why I'm being like very cautious here today. And if it moves, it moves, you know. The issue is like when this thing moves, in hindsight, it looks like it moved clean in one go, but you would have maybe given it a few tries here, or you would have been stuck in drawdown before it actually pushed up. So it's not a zero drawdown type of day. Unless now it just pushes all of a sudden, but you know, like if you were actually taking the move, you might have even already been triggered in. But let me see what happened here. Did it even get a break? Yeah, that was a pretty solid break too. Let's see. That would be the only maybe attempt here on the second rebreak, or yeah, the second rebreak for like a clean push. But in reality, you'd have already gotten in like somewhere around here. Maybe even got stopped out or just been stuck in drawdown. So it looks like in hindsight, you could have caught it. But if you're actually looking to execute, maybe you would have already taken it. Here we go. Clear up line on the 1 minute. Did we just get any candle opens? See 5-minute liquidity grabs. Just one right over here. Got a kiss of death. Small little kiss of death over there. Liquidity grab, kiss of death on the 5-minute. Yeah, there's that zero drawdown. But you say in reality, you'd have probably like gotten it here first if you're really looking to take that position. But if you weren't, sometimes that creates like a good opportunity. Because if you weren't gonna take it, then you can like observe for the second break, and usually that gives a good opportunity because it's typically like that probability on that second go that it's gonna break with volume. That's if you're like maybe unsure about the position. You let it break first, monitor the break, and then decide to execute if you see it's continuing in your direction. That also can work. M5 prove of respect plus M1 volume breakout. My range just filled. Oh, nice. Yeah, you got some range here. We're talking like 20 pip range. From here to here, like about 24 pips. Not your setup now? No, not my setup for the way I want to see London behave. It's definitely a setup, just not my setup. Bounce off resistance. Filled up the range quite nice there. That's pretty much it. These are really tight moves here. Point A to point B. Very tight. Now it's just up to volume to break through this level. Get enough volume from that accumulation that previously was playing out to break above these highs. And like 37 pips above this resistance as well, up towards that next resistance point. So that distribution can actually follow through quite beautifully from these ends. Because that 15-minute looks nice. 15-minute clean range. All the way up until that daily flip. Oh, there you go, Goldie.
Why are you running?
Now it's starting to wake up. You see, that's why we said this is a bus stop right over here. Question was, how is this bus gonna leave the station? This is the bus stop. Looks like it had to come back down quickly and then break it again. I don't like this trickle effect. I don't like usually when the market starts to move up like this. That was a pretty big range. From here to here, that was about like 105 pips. It's got like small little distribution. Yesterday, London had no volume as well. Yeah, yesterday was pretty nice move though. I like yesterday's setup. Yesterday's setup was so straightforward and easy. Just came on to stream, literally took it in the first 7 minutes. Just 7 minutes into the London Open. But after that setup, there was like not much left after that setup. So if anybody like, you know, missed to execute on that, it ended up ranging for some time before price started to move again. So it's like, that's why I say like sometimes you really do come onto the charts and you see your setup like immediately and you don't need to like second guess it. And that's what I got yesterday. Beautiful price action. Price was moving upwards. I have very nice clean range over here without entry confirmation to break above to fill that range. But you see, if you miss that entry, I can't remember where we got in, but then you see for the most part, then London just ranged. It just started chopping up because once it filled this area, that was like from point A to point B. There was really nothing left because these are the ATH. That was the ATH all the way up over here. So, you know, there was really nothing left. So at that point, the market just accumulated, got enough orders so it can try push up again. But look at how nasty this PA is. You could have been caught in so many whips there yesterday. I feel like over trading especially. And these rejections, massive rejections all across the board, eh? And then volume started coming back in a little bit. What time is this? 5:35. All right, it started opening up nice. Oh, this was a nice one. This was a beautiful one. This was a beauty. It says right with that New York session open volume confluence. Man, this would have been a sin not to take this move. Or if you counter trended this move, then you're gonna commit a sin over here. Because look at how nice this is. Little accumulation, you got a fake out confluence, you have your SMAs in your favor. And look at this. Candlestick closes above, nice little shotgun entry over here. Stop loss below the candlestick if you want. Stop range all the way up until like, you know, 48, 46 over there. Beautiful range. Then look at this. Look what happens. New York session. Volume. Nice little kiss of death in there too, protecting your stop loss. And then for price to fill that range from point A to point B. Profit taking. Players from here in, out. Right? Securing some profits. Boom. That's it. Simple. Simple. TFX concepts. Come on now. So make sure you watch those simulation sessions that we have in the WAP database. It's going to be really important to understand these things. Took the breakout and the fast short on top. See 1 minute swing entries on Euro USD. Do you think I managed risk well? This is Euro US dollar. Initial stops, risk management, move stops here. Hey, no, you gotta watch the way to reduce risk. Just watch those videos on WAP on how we like to reduce risk, because see, this didn't even create you structure yet. You know, okay, I guess you can look at different ways. You can become a bit fluid with the way you manage risk, right? But if you're just using structure to manage risk, typically you're gonna want to wait for a little more structure like this. Once this candle here closed bearish, then you can move your stop loss here, right? Because this is now just becoming like a pullback. This has just triggered you in and it just pulled back and you just reduce your stop, right? Because you're using like pretty nice recent structure over here. And yeah, it seems like if you're going to use structure, the best way is to wait for a few more candles to close. So you created lower high, lower high. Then after that, you're like, okay, fine. Now I'm going to reduce my risk right over here. Or if price, you know, sometimes what happens to us is price triggers us in, and then it consolidates like this, and then maybe creates a wick like this, and we're like, okay, now we're going to reduce our risk here. Because that consolidation breakouts against us, then it's most likely going to go for the stop loss. So usually the best time is when there's some little bit of structure, unless you are just trying to zero drawdown it. If you're trying to zero drawdown it and you're not expecting much pullbacks, then you know that's fine. Maybe it comes up here like 35% into drawdown, then you just can cut it off. But for that, you also need like a bit more of a wider stop loss. So that 35 can be a little bit more extended as well. Give you a bit more space, breathing room. Thank you, sir. Because of you, my trading journey is going to be profitable. Thank you, guys. Kevin. Let's get it. You're gonna have profitability very soon. At least some kind of an improvement, you know. Because you got one more quarter of the year left. And I think, man, this quarter, you gotta make this quarter count. Привет. Я не trading oil. Каждый день ты идешь тут, ты поставишь что-то про oil, но я даже не вижу oil. Oil is just at what? $60 a barrel. 60 psychological mark. Accumulation looks like a fake out back into the range. There's a previous analysis we did here in oil. See, just consolidating. So I think oil has a good chance to come up towards that resistance. Niharasho. The oil medlinka idjot. Freaking slow instrument. Sir, I'm new today. Is first day your channel. Can you tell me any trade? Gold versus dollar. Yeah, right now the gold is currently at a distribution phase right now. It's currently moving up. It's currently moving up here. Welcome to the best London session stream. Hey, Guled, thank you for the membership. Gold is setting up. It needs to set, if it wants to continue moving up bullish, it's going to set something up here. It's going to set another point A because it just had small distribution over here. Break of the highs, push about like 50 pips. So it's going to have to set up again something within these ranges. And then to show that it wants to keep moving up too. And currently nothing. You see, we're still below the day. Saying we only had like 2 moves today. We only had this one sell and 1 buy right over here. 1 sell, 1 buy. So market is not really. And also, you know, catching those moves are quite difficult. This one had a lot of fake outs before the break. Unless you just took it off the break over here. That was pretty clean. But if you're trying to get in earlier, you'd have to deal with some pullback. And then also this one had like a small pullback, small little liquidity grab down over there too before it started moving up on the 5. Because you see the 5 closed above. It closed above resistance, but it didn't break the previous 5-minute highs. So it went for a little liquidity grab, pulled back up, rebroke the highs to fill up the range on the left. So that was like a bit of a confluence for that move. But I feel like the market doesn't really want to pay people out. It's like it feels like it's kind of want to be stingy here today. By just making it a bit difficult because Powell is speaking later. And we don't have unemployment claims anymore. I just found your channel. Been looking for someone who would be live trading. I just started trading last week and looking for some knowledge. Man, you're in the right place. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel because we trade Monday to Friday from the London Open. So, you know, welcome. You can come on here because you're learning how to trade. You can come over here to our Discord and send in some chart work. Like basically you can take a trade and then label your trade like this. Why did you take your trade? You know, what was the idea behind why you took your trade? And then you're going to get some feedback. Gold buys. Look, I know you don't like FEGs, but they're all I trade. It's all right. It's all everybody trades. There's no more creativity left in this industry. Everybody just trades FEGs. It's what the vast majority of people trade. It's easier. Because it's like what everyone does. But it's weird because like in 2020, I didn't even know about those FEGs. Most of the people I was learning from was just like price action, like candlesticks. Mainly to do with like candlesticks and structure, not necessarily like that type of smart money concept. But man, if you know that like words of wisdom, right? That words of wisdom channel, like literally every guest he has trades FEG. They'll all trade like some kind of variation of that FEG. It's like, damn. The worst part is they're delusional because they think they're smart money concepts, but they're not. They just made some shit up. They just made some serious shit up. Like they use very complicated words that literally were all just made up by the guy who was working with babypips.com. Because that's what ICT used to do, right? He used to be a teacher on Baby Pips. Yeah, it's too much crazy stuff going on there. Too many inducements and man, sometimes I use some words that sound like different language. Like, what the hell is this? Because price is gonna move anywhere. It's gonna move anyway. So it's like you can have the most complicated analysis and justify why a certain thing happened, or you could have a simple analysis and justify why a certain thing happened. You know, the market doesn't know the difference between any sort of a strategy. You know, the market moves so differently, and it actually moves based off of a fundamentals more than anything else. On the HTF, that's where the volume really comes from, right? So it's like you got to choose how you want to take your trades. You can overcomplicate it, crazy narratives, or you can just look at what the market does from the pure basics of market structure. So I'll just say it moves 3 directions: bullish, sideways, bearish. You probably heard this before. And the thing is like, okay, so if that's the foundation, then why do we need to reinvent the wheel? Like that's for me the way I look at markets, right? I don't reinvent anything. If this is how it moves, then how can I build a system around just that movement without making anything up? You know, without saying now all of a sudden this is an FEG. You see, you made that up. You just put that there and you've called it an FEG. Market doesn't know that's an FEG, right? But what the market knows, it knows when it's consolidating. It knows when it's moving up. It knows when it's moving down. So, you know, I think there's a difference between like making things up and having a reaction and looking at what the market's actually doing. Because you can have a reaction off anything you make up. You can put a line over here, see a random ass line, and you can make a story of why price is reacting off of that line. You know, maybe this was an important line over here for some reason. Price came down, retested it once. See this support area over here? Look at that. That was a random line that I drew. See this reactions over here? So that's where the psychology part comes into play. Because sometimes, look at the beautiful reactions here. 1, 2. How many reactions have we gotten off here? So that's how you trick yourself. You trick yourself into believing systems which you kind of just made up out of thin air. That's the risky part about trading. Is because you can make something sound good, but with no real basis. And you're going to have some kind of a result from it. You're going to have some kind of a result, some kind of a reaction. But you got to be careful to really be trading based off of organic price action and not just hit and miss. So that's just my own opinions. Not a popular opinion, but it is my opinion. And I think it makes sense. Xauusd has like 5 times my account in 2025, but overall support and resistance is king. Yeah, if it works, it works. And that one's right, you know, if it works for you, then perfect. Like it works, just keep doing that. Hey, I'm talking about more like in terms of moving, you know, cautiously, correctly, without deluding ourselves. Like that's how for me, I see it. For you, you see it in a different way and it works for you. So just keep doing that. Maybe you've understood some kind of a price action over there, some kind of a unique perspective of your own to make it make sense. But most people who are trying to make that make sense, unfortunately, they can't make it make sense. But a lot of people do understand, like when they come onto the charts, a lot of people do understand when the market moves sideways. Like we can all see that and come to an agreement that price action is moving sideways. When you trade those systems, sometimes you're going to have like one over here, but the other guy who's in your same class has one right over here. And that guy is taking a buy whilst you're taking a sell. So who's right? You're in the same class, you're learning the same thing. One guy's gonna buy, the other guy's gonna sell at the same time because you have one FVG or order block or whatever here and you got another one here. So who's right? But if we're all looking at accumulation and markets moving sideways, we're just waiting in the middle. Everyone's waiting in the middle for it to either break the highs or for it to break the lows to confirm a direction. So it kind of removes a lot more of that subjectivity. You know, that's how I view those other systems. Even like a trend line. You can all learn the same trend line, but some people draw it slightly differently. Draw it here, draw it on the candlestick bodies. Create that small little difference also creates a huge difference in the angle. You see the difference between these two. Some people use thin lines, which are more refined. Some people use fat lines, which are less refined. And then it can get quite confusing as well on the higher time frames once you start incorporating the higher to lower time frames as well. You just want to move correct, you know, just move slow and correct. At least so you feel that whatever it is that you're doing is making some kind of a sense to you. It's not confusing you anymore. The daily is about to flip here, 0.06%. Still distributing. It's currently in momentum from this region over here. You see how the momentum starts to kick in, right? Every time we get these sort of like entry confirmations and volume starts to kick in, start to get some kind of a direction, seeing more buying pressure in the market. Because it's just distributing. You know, there's no rocket science here. Price just moved sideways and it distributed up. Just needed to break above these highs. It broke above it once, pull back, maybe just kind of squeezing out some buyers before the actual move, bullish. And now it's in the distribution phase. It's currently paying out basically these traders over here. See, it's not the easiest day to trade though. It's currently paying them out until it creates some new structure. It's going to create some other accumulation and then keep moving up again. But it's approaching this 5 minute. We had that 5 minute resistance. that actually broke above. It did like a small break and a retest, but it's moving in a slow volume because you see candlestick broke above resistance, but this candle didn't break the previous candlestick highs. It still closed bearish. And then this candle did not break the previous candlestick highs. It still closed like bullish, but within this area over here. Then this candle closed like a doji candle. You see, there's so little, I feel like, conviction. The moves are moving, but there's so little conviction in the market. See, it's heading for that daily flip. See, daily candlestick is still a doji, right? It's still a doji over here. This far into the London session, we should have at least seen some kind of a direction, but we're literally at a doji. It did to me. I was there this morning. I was counting candle flip to give volume. You give my money. Oh, you gave your money to sellers? So if you look at this as well, what happened over here? Basically, market mirrored itself. So if you remove all the analysis, let's remove all of these lines, you're going to see the market just mirrored itself. It's like a yin and yang over here. It's like a yin and yang. Market just mirrored itself. Accumulated, came down, filled up the range, point A, point B, came down here again. Created that range we're talking about, broke up. Same way it broke down is the same way it broke up. It just did small, slight little. Of course, it's not going to be exactly the same, but you know that's where now you got to use the creative part of your brain, because the moment you try and make markets like fit some kind of a mold, it never fits that mold, right? So if you understand the concept on its own, you'll be able to see it a lot clearly. Accumulate, break, accumulate, reversal confirmation signal. Actually, this is, in a sense, because it broke below some kind of structure and then shot back up. And then that cycle, it just kind of repeats itself. Sometimes it's more clear. Sometimes, sometimes it's not as clear. But you see, you got an option. You got option to trade. That's the number one thing. Like, the advantage of retail traders is that they have an option. You get to choose what you want to take as a trade. A clear one or not clear one, that's up to you. You know, you don't get that option when you're gambling at a casino. You have to play. You can't sit at a blackjack table and say, oh, yeah, I don't want to play now. Or you have to play. Or a slot machine. You can't sit at a slot machine and not play. You got to play. But in trading, you don't have to trade. You can pick your battles. You can pick the easier battles. The ones just, this is your world. Make everything in your favor. You know, make it, why not make everything in your favor? It's your world. You don't have to fight every battle. So just pick the ones where it's all in your favor. Hey, good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning. Hope you are good. Last week I asked you about how to add those. Oh man, like I already answered this question like 100 times. I'm not going to answer it again. Can we see Asia high sweep and then towards Asia low? Let's see what's Asia high. I told you 100 times, man. 100 times I told you. Even on that day you were asking me. I told you what it was. And then you said, oh, sorry, sir, my network went down. What did you say? Then I told you what it was again. And now you're coming here and you're asking me to tell you again? Come on, man. Come on. Doesn't make any sense. Now you see price is aiming for that Asia high over here. It's not too far off. It's like 48 pips away. I know people are profitable only using trendline. Yep. You sir, last time? No. No, you missed your opportunity. No more times. You missed the trade, sir. Oh, is this Akash? Is Akash in the Zoom call right now? Where's Akash? He's not even in the Zoom call. I cannot find screen recordings. All signal on the videos. What is this guy talking about? Only few videos are there? Man, this is some crazy mentality. There's hours and hours and hours of videos. I'm sure this guy has not even watched one video and is already complaining. He's not even on the freaking Zoom call. Man, some people are so difficult. Let me see what price is doing here. It's at a resistance right now. It's definitely not anything clear. That daily is hovering around that flip. Just needs to reflip, show us a bit more momentum. Could probably see some all-time highs come in, like during the pre-NY time. We got about like 15 minutes until those highs get broken. I mean, 15 minutes until the new hourly candlestick opens. And then once the hourly opens, you got a bit of a clean traffic over here. I think that's just going to give us a bit more clarity, because if that hourly starts to now break above resistance and the daily starts to flip back bullish, we're going to have this whole range over here to play with. Because this is going to be more of like that overall direction I'll be anticipating for the rest of the day. As pre-NY comes in, and then New York session open volume comes in, and then price to continue moving towards like 40.57 over there. Got this range of about 126 pips. So you're waiting for the break of the buys out and then you will enter? Yeah, I'm just mainly waiting for direction more than anything else. Because right now, the market seems to you that it's moving, right? It seems like, oh, we had a sell here, we had a buy here. There's definitely options, but there's just no overall conviction of where the day is going to be heading. Like the daily is literally negative 0.03%. The previous day as well didn't have direction. You see previous day over here, it's not like we're trending bullish crazy. Like if you look at the previous day, look at the way the previous day came down. It came down and then we're kind of like in this little trench over here. See, right now we're in some kind of a trench, right? You got Powell speaking today as well. So just be cautious. Too much resistance against buyers, to be honest. Sellers might appear anytime. Yeah, exactly. You got that's why the only thing that looks clean here is honestly that hourly. You just get through this hourly, and I think it's gonna be a more smoother sailing. Even though we still have like some speed bumps over here, you can just anticipate the hourly candles can at least move up to fill this area. Got about 12 minutes hourly candle closure. What time is Powell speaking? Like 30 minutes into New York Open. Old man's gonna be speaking and he should be moving the market somewhat. Whether that's gonna be consolidating or something's supposed to happen. We had FOMC meeting minutes yesterday. Let's see what gold did. Let me see. Let's go back. That was at 2 p.m. What did we do? What did we do? What did we do? Not much. Looks like we kind of chopped around a lot. Then all of a sudden we got a big dump over here. It must have said something. There's like 220 pips. It must have said something here. From the moment that he started speaking here until that time. Said something, and whatever that he said looks like it kind of pushed price down for the rest. But it looks like because they said they didn't come to an agreement with the interest rate cuts. Like some people don't want to, they didn't come to an agreement with those kind of like a consolidation of opinion. See what this FOMC minutes indicated further rate cuts due to labor market fragility and inflation concerns continue to support demand. Precious metals, the ongoing US government shutdown now in the second week delayed economic data and threatened public sector layoffs, while private reports show contracting ADP payrolls. See, Donald Trump announced that Israel and Hamas had agreed on the first phase of a peace plan, potentially ending the 2-year war and freeing hostages, a deal confirmed by Israeli officials. Let's see. Gold eases. Okay, now maybe this is the reason. Let's see. Gold eases after a Gaza deal, but holds near record highs. Gold prices fall in early trading as first phase of Gaza deal between Israel and Hamas eases geopolitical risks. Continue over near. Precious metal continues to trade above 4,000 historic mark. Concerns over the US economy. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty, you know, like the thing with Powell as well. Powell usually operates from a point of information. So if he's not getting information on unemployment, jobs data and whatnot, then how can he give like some kind of a perspective? Let's see. Concerns over the US economy and government shutdown continue to boost investor demand. We'll cut interest rates further. Yeah, just gotta wait. Just gotta wait and see with the price action. I think even if the fundamentals might seem bullish and the price action is doing something else, also not good because you can't really trade it with full-on confidence. But if we're saying that gold is bullish and we should be even heading up to $5,000, but the daily candlestick is still at 0%, it does create a bit of like confusion. So you always gotta wait and see how those technicals and those fundamentals also line up together. Because we got this peace deal between Israel and Hamas, and then, you know, that makes gold go up, and then at the same time they're saying, oh, gold should go up. I mean, that makes gold go down. And then at the same time they're saying that gold should go up because of XYZ. That creates indecision. And that's partly the reason I think we're seeing a 0% day here on the daily. But 40. Okay, adding to my notes, I sometimes jump in noise. I will add stability in my entry. I usually enter in a previous daily highs and lows and weeks resistance and support and scalp my way through 1 to 3 takes. I usually jump into noise, because of lack of impatience. Add stability in my entry. It's scary today. I'm gonna finish your stream and call it a day. Thank you, man. I've had 2 nice wins this morning. I'm calling it a day. See you. Aiden, Adnan. Took any trades today? Just I had one sell on gold during the pre-London session time. That was only trade. Gold is strange bullish without volume. Yeah, you can see it's like funny, right? It's a little funny here. Look at the way the wicks are like. It's kind of wicky. It's kind of wicky. Wiki. It's like it wants to move up, but it's touching like the hot pan or whatever. It's kind of moving cautiously. It wants to move up, but it's like just touching and saying, okay, can we move up? Can we move up? It's like slowly doing that as it's trickling upwards. Can we move up? It's testing. Do we got any buyers over here? Can we get, is Ricardo gonna buy? Okay, maybe Ricardo buys and it moves up a bit. It checks if Legion wants to buy, and then it's gonna check, and then it'll come down a bit. Moving cautiously. Then you gotta get a shock out of nowhere, come into the ocean, and just shoot this thing down again. It's like, who's there? Who wants to buy? Maybe we got Wood somewhere around here. We got Luke somewhere around here. Legion's done buying. No, there's a shot. Now you see now the shot comes out of nowhere. Oh, give you a whip. What you say? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Is this thing just dump like 20 pips in 1 minute? Maybe this is. Let's see. I had to take action. I would sell from there. I think better odds for it to come down now after this push, but nothing for you there. Oh yeah, you imagine you took a sell here. See, now the shot comes in. It says, oh, you buyers don't seem too confident. Maybe we're going to push you down. Because that's what trading is, right? It's all about confidence. When you got like a really nice setup, let's say price is really moving up, right? And then you take a sell. Who do you think is more confident? The buyers are going to be more confident. So you see now it's like showing weakness. The buyers are showing a bit of weakness over here. So, you know, the sellers try to jump in. Trying to jump in to see how if they can bully them. This is not how gold moves when it's moving with confidence. Feels like they've been needing these kind of like squeezes to push price up too. You see we got one here. You got a tiny one right over here as well. And price almost came down to take out these lows. Then you get another situation over here. It's like they need this kind of like moves so they can try keep pushing up. It's almost like maybe there's just not enough buyers above. So they need to get the sellers in. And when the sellers experience this drawdown, it's the same as buying when they close their positions. To kind of generate that momentum to the upside. So we want to get really technical and analytical about why it's doing this. But, you know, like you can't say with a lot of confidence that's the reason that's happening. But you can just assume that's happening, right? So best thing usually is just to like sit in your hands until market structure is a little bit more clear for you. Because there's a lot of assuming. There's a lot of speculation that can be done. Oh, you know, you could also say we're just rejecting off of resistance over here as well. I believe shorting from 40.56 makes more sense. Is that 40.56? Oh, that's still a ways away. It's accumulating here. You see, it's trying to like, it's trying to cook something up for sure. It's a nice little accumulation here by some kind of a resistance. Goldie is cooking. It's cooking. It's cooking. We might see the next move come in at the break of either these highs or these lows. Again, the only thing missing, the last ingredient here is that direction, because we're literally at the daily. This is a daily open right here. Daily's a doji. Waiting is better than jumping in the shark's mouth. Yeah. Just be okay, you know, just treat it like, you know, your best days in trading are the days where you come onto the chart and you don't really expect to take anything, and, you know, you're chill, you're calm. Then you see something interesting, right? You see something interesting, you're like, this looks pretty good. Then you end up taking that trade and it's like a very nice stress-free trade. But it's days like this when you're trying to, like, you know, really think a lot. You're thinking a lot and you're trying to debate, like, what's price really doing? And those are the days where actually most of the time it's better you just stay out of the market. It's breaking these lows. Let's see if it distributes down. It's flirting. It's using that daily open there as some kind of psychological resistance too. Do you trade Bitcoin? Nope. Daily target hit. Now I walk away. Gonna like convince yourself. Should I take this move? Should I not take this move? Then the moment you start to see drawdown, you kind of like are more likely to mismanage the trade at that point, because you aren't 100% committed to the position. It's a shitty mentality to be in when you take a trade like that. When you kind of like half-ass a trade. Are you doing giveaways? This stream is a giveaway. You know, why do you want giveaways? No one gave me anything. I never asked anybody for any handouts. I never won any giveaways when I was learning to trade. And, you know, thank God for that, because I built my character to a point where I didn't need giveaways. I gave myself the giveaways. You know, that's a brokey mindset. How do you go on live streams looking for giveaways? It doesn't work like that. If you want to become a profitable trader, trust me, there's no profitable trader who's looking for giveaways. I can guarantee you that 100%. Because once you actually learn the skill for yourself, you wouldn't need those giveaways. And if you can't even afford $100, then you definitely need to find a 9-to-5, because I don't even know how you're paying your bills. If you can't even buy a challenge once you have the skill, which you can get the skill for free if you put in the work, and you don't have $100 to get a challenge, and you still need a 9-to-5 job. So there's no shortcuts. You have to put the work in. You know, don't look for giveaways. I'm telling you this out of tough love. You think I'm mad? I'm not mad. I'm just telling you out of tough love, because, you know, I gotta deal with this like every day, right? Trying to uplift people, trying to motivate people, and then you get some people come in and they give me this brokey mindset. This brokey mindset is what I avoid on my day-to-day life. You know, because you don't want to surround yourself with that type of mentality, because every day there are people in here trying to get 1% better, literally grinding to make generational wealth for themselves, their family. They're trying to get actively better. Then you get these weak brokey mindsets come in asking dumb questions. It's just kind of annoying. But you know, that's why we have this community here, so we can also, like, you know, help those people as well. But it is a bit frustrating, you know, because trading is an endeavor where you should be endeavoring to get better, not endeavoring to look for giveaways. Because why do something in the first place? You know, why even start anything in the first place if you're just looking for handouts? I never looked for a handout. No one gave me a handout ever. I could have gotten my courses for free. The first courses I bought, I could download them for free. I still paid for them. Because it's like, if I don't have skin in the game, how can I prove to myself that I want to take this serious? You know, if I want to make $1 million trading and I can't even invest $200 in my education or in a simulation software, it's like, how does that work? It can't work like that. You know, how do you start a business with $0 and expect to make 500K, 10K, 20K? How does that work? You can't start a business with $0 and then make $20,000. You have to have that initial investment first. You know, this is just the real world. And as I always say, you know, if you think I'm mean, then that's fine. That's fine, because, you know, that tough love is actually what's going to make you better. Because you know what? I can almost 100% say, I can at least 98% say all these people who are winning giveaway challenges, if you go and ask them where they are right now, maybe some of them passed initially, but they failed. They've already failed. They've given back the account. You know, but most people don't even pass the challenge. They just fail. Oh man, look at this. Another beautiful distribution. Looks like that was a fake out to the downside. And it's really popping above this yellow line. Like, trust me, like all these people you look up to and all these traders you look up to and you're trying to emulate and you're trying to get with them, get as good as them. Trust me, none of them are getting those giveaways. They're doing it themselves. It's, you know, oh my days, look at this freaking whips. It's a mental thing. I was walking the dogs when this happened. You see, that's why it's like being disciplined, being patient, it really pays. Like, just not trading. When you feel like there's something off with the market, just don't trade. Like, why would you put yourself in a position to fail just because of greed? Yeah, the market right now is really building some character. No. Also, Discord pissed me off. The fact that Discord wasn't working when we started stream kind of like grind my gears a bit. This is how people go to Tilt and blow their accounts. Yeah. Suck day usually makes you think a lot. Good day actually very stress free. Let's see, it's writing that 50 SMA. Hey, that little liquidity grab up above here too. It really just whipped the sellers and the buyers. Damn. See, it's like flirting with that. It's flirting with that daily open. What are we gonna do, Doldy? We're gonna move down. We're gonna move up. It's already created quite a healthy bottom wick. It barely has a top wick there on the daily too. See how I pulled back like this? Really nice bottom wick that's formed for price to move up. And you can see off the previous days, we're still bullish overall. So it's just a matter of time to see this thing really commit. You know, that's what we're waiting for, like a commitment of 100%. Too many speed bumps, as you said, man. I'd say we full port and make billions. Hey, I would love to see the broker pay out $1 billion. They'll say, oh, no, but you know, we actually like broke this rule here. See, you're using like some copy trading. Man, imagine that. That's actually an interesting scenario. I wonder if like icy markets, let's say you get like a really good trader and he makes a lot more than icy market is able to pay. What would happen in a situation like that? Is it the broker that pays, or is it the liquidity, the LP? But how much does the LP have? Because all brokers, they have like different liquidity providers, right? They don't all have the same liquidity provider. So who are these LPs? Who are these liquidity providers? Where's the broker that pays you? These are questions, answers I don't have because I don't own a broker. Let me ask ChatGPT here. In trading, when I have a profitable trade, I want to make a withdrawal. Is it the broker which pays me, or is it the liquidity providers?
Great question. In most retail trading scenarios, it's actually the broker who pays you directly. When you request a withdrawal, the broker is responsible for transferring the funds from your trading account to your bank or payment method. The broker may have their own internal processes and agreements with liquidity providers, but the actual payment to you as a trader is handled by the broker. Liquidity providers come into play when the broker needs to source the actual market liquidity for your trades. But when it comes to withdrawals, the broker is the one who actually makes the payout.
Well, what if my payout is bigger than what the broker can afford, but it's a regulated broker? Is there some kind of insurance that I can get that I do receive that withdrawal?
Absolutely. That's a really important consideration. Regulated brokers often have certain safeguards in place. For example, in the EU, brokers are often required to be part of the investor compensation scheme, which can cover eligible clients up to a certain amount if the broker defaults. In the UK, there's the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, FSCS, that provides similar coverage. Additionally, reputable brokers usually keep client funds in segregated accounts, separate from their own operating funds, so that even if the broker faces financial difficulties, client funds are protected. Of course, it's always good practice to thoroughly research the broker's regulatory status.
So how much, for example, are they in a sense insured? Like, let's say if I want to make a withdrawal of 1 billion, like how much would they be insured to actually make that possible?
Yeah, so the coverage limits really depend on the jurisdiction and the specific compensation scheme. For instance, in the UK, the FSCS typically covers up to £85,000 per eligible person per firm. In the EU, it's often around 20,000 euros to 100,000 euros, depending on the country. So if you're talking about a withdrawal of something like $1 billion, that far exceeds the compensation limits. In that case, the broker would need to have sufficient capital and liquidity to cover that amount. If the broker is regulated and financially sound, they should be able to meet those obligations. But for extremely large amounts, it's more about the broker's own financial health rather than the compensation scheme. In short, the compensation schemes are more...
In short, you're screwed. If you have more than a huge amount, then maybe like 100k, let's say, like, just to be safe, let's round off like 100k, right? So if it's like, let's say you're definitely going to lose money above like the 100k insurance. So the broker will pay you out what it can pay you to its limit, to its capacity, and then it's going to go to its buddy over here and say, hey, listen, we need some insurance to keep paying this guy. Then they're going to give you maybe like 100k, but you could still have a shitload left on the table. So that's actually quite an interesting scenario. Yeah, the broker would... That's why it's a good idea to always make gradual withdrawals. Not just trade and leave it in the account, but, you know, at that point, you're going to be trading so much money that I think trading is not going to be your only source of income by that point. Like, if you're moving enough volume to actually create such a problem like that, you'd probably not even be trading on a broker, to be honest. You'd definitely be doing it from like other means. Vic trying to understand how to bankrupt a broker. Yeah, we're trying to see our protection here. But I think for most retail traders, it's fine. They're never gonna reach that cap. But it happened to one of the guys I used to follow, like this guy called King Sean Lee. He really ran up an account once and he had issues with Vantage. Vantage was not paying him out. But that was back in 2019. Is price feeding? Yeah, it's setting up. It's a lot of setups here. Like, it's, you know, there's a lot of, like, let me not say setups, but a lot of indecision. It's still hovering, you see 0%. I flip a cash out and won't cash out like 1k plus, they might give me a hard time. Most people are not going to get a hard time though. There's like 50k withdrawals, 100k plus withdrawals. That's still fine. See how much liquidity IC Markets does on a daily. IC Markets processes over 500,000 trades daily. Their forex trading volume reaches over 29 billion US dollars daily. So I say it's like you're never gonna reach those limits. And by the time you're trading that amount, if you're planning on making billions of withdrawals, dude, you're not trading anymore. You're definitely running like other companies and doing a lot of other things too. I don't think you would ever be crazy enough to put such a high amount of risk just inside a brokerage, even if it's regulated. But yeah, just for some peace of mind, like IC Markets, for example, does $29 billion daily. I don't like IC Market spreads compared advantage. I like my spreads. My gold spreads have been pretty good. Really nice of late. Just about 1 pip. What do I think of this sell zone? I think it's really choppy. I think there's a lot of like indecision in the market today. It doesn't feel nice. You see it's accumulating again. Basically that cycle, it's sort of repeating itself here again. The accumulation, breakout, accumulation, break above, then another accumulation here. It's kind of setting up again for potential next move. So you see we got like a point A here, we got another point A here, and we got another point A here. Let's see, the falling candle not only failed to break the high wick, but also broke the low wick. This invalidate the entry. You have to wait for another support and see if... Okay. I see. You just... Yeah, this was that nice little range here. Price moved up. Breaks the support. Alright. What about bonuses in account? Like they gave you credit for extra money or trading? I think the way the bonus thing works is, let's say if you got like 50 bucks and they say they give you another 50 bucks, you know, 100% bonus over here. Then what happens is if you lose $50, you'll still have this bonus, right? But you can't withdraw this bonus until maybe it comes back above $100. So the bonus is just, it kind of keeps you trading. So even if you lose your initial investment, the bonus, you can still use that to build the account back up to 100. And then I think anything over 100 is what you can withdraw. So having a lot of money in your broker is risky. I think always, for me, what I personally do, let's say if I want to put like, let's say I want to put like 100K in the broker, right? I just put like 50K. I wouldn't just put the whole 100K and then trade it like it's 100K. Just to give that extra level of security. But, you know, that's like extreme. You're thinking more in the extreme case scenarios, which is sometimes not practical. But if you feel more comfortable, I think, you know, it can help with your psychology a little bit, knowing that you have that extra sort of like protection. But as you can see, most as long as the broker is regulated and it's quite notable, and you know, then you should be fine. It's no real problem. But if you're trading one of these brokers owned by these Miami traders who show you a Bugatti and then they say, hey, this is my broker, come and join me, man, you're gonna get screwed, because they're definitely not pushing enough. They don't have that longevity in the industry to solidify themselves as like a stable brokerage, right? And most of those Miami trader brokers, they always go bust, right? Something always happens and then it just doesn't last. They're not really professional. So, you know, just like common sense. Where would you put your money? Would you go to a bank, a notable bank in your area? Would you, you know, when you choose a bank, you also like looking at the bank, right? You're saying this is a good bank, you know, how long have they been around? Because you know you can put your money in a bank and your money is gonna be relatively safe in the bank. It's the same thing as a broker. Just look for a good broker, regulated broker, reputable. It's been in the industry for a while. So that's why some broker refuses to pay you in case they have no obligation. The fuck happened here? No obligation to honor their terms. They bet on the fact that you will lose your money. Yeah, if you think about it, that's how banks work as well, right? The whole idea behind a bank is that not everyone's gonna ask for their money all at once and then bankrupt them. So yeah, that's the business model. The business model is that most people will not be all requesting profitable payouts all at one time, because most people are not profitable. Just the same way as a bank would not expect everybody to just one day remove all their money. And that's why I was talking about the insurance. I want to know how much they were insured. Because that's a worst case scenario. You know, that's a worst case scenario. The probabilities of that happening with a regulated entity is quite low. Bro, have you ever been scammed? I've been scammed and like, of course, like throughout my whole life, man, but not in trading. Not in trading. You know, the only time you get scammed in trading is like when you give your money to somebody because they're promising you some kind of a return, right? So that's when you give your money to someone and say, hey, manage my account for me. That's when most of the problems come. So for me, I've always wanted to go with like understanding. I always wanted to just learn, you know, not chase anything. I just wanted to learn. So I've never been scammed. Have you ever had a bad experience with a broker? No, I can't say that I have. I've only traded on IC markets, and there was another broker I used to trade on. Now I can't even remember. It's IC markets, and there was one other one I traded on for a bit. But I've been with IC markets like basically since the beginning of my journey, because that's when I did like a lot of due diligence, and then I was like, okay, so this is the one most people are trading on, correct? And then the other ones, I was just like trying them out. Do you think we're geared for a sell strategy? Yeah, I think like, you see, it's like having a hard time here at this psychological point, which is that daily flip. So, you know, if you so far you managed to survive this day, I think that's pretty nice, because difficulty level on this day is quite high. I always think of every day like kind of like a lobby, right? So you get sent into a lobby, like if you're gaming, and you know, some lobbies you got like really professional players, right? And it's not so fun. And then other lobbies so easy because you got noobs in there. And today we got like a pretty difficult lobby. It's not the easiest lobby. So if you have a profitable day today, you're doing very well. I got scammed by this dude who sold me a MacBook laptop, and when I opened the bag, there was a bottle of water. He showed me the laptop, and to this date, I don't know how he removed it. A crazy sleight of hand. Everyone's experienced that to some degree. You know, it's all about like, it's a process of just learning and getting better, because once it happens, if it happens once to you, you bet you it's not going to happen again, correct? So that's a process. And you know, it still happens to this day. Like, that's why you got to move very cautiously. Like, even if I wanted to open a broker, let's say today, I saw the process of opening a broker, man, with my inexperience of opening brokers, I could easily get scammed. Easily get scammed. You know, it happened to Roger Banks. You guys know Roger Banks? It happened to him when he was opening his broker in Canada. Man, he lost hundreds of thousands because of the lack of knowledge that he had. You know, but now he's gotten that character development, and now he has his own broker. It's like much more professional, much more stable. But that was the cost that he had to pay. Hundreds of thousands. You know, it happens to everybody. Happened to Lionel Richie. If you listen to Lionel Richie's story in the music industry, one day he went home, he said, and he told his mom that, Mom, I just got scammed. $300,000. And then the mom was like, what? Really? Blah, blah, blah. And then he said, yeah, but it was only $300,000. Because in his career, Lionel Richie is worth 200 million plus. So it could have been a whole lot more. So he said, at least it was only $300,000, Mom. And he said, man, parents looked at him like he was crazy. But it's all about perspective. It's all relative, you know. $300,000 could sound like a lot to somebody. And to somebody else, it could sound like pretty fair price to pay for what's to come next. So I think it's like, you know, you got to experience in your life, but keeping that risk as low as possible is super important. You know, super important. Just like keep that risk low, because it's going to happen. You can't live life perfectly. You know, you are going to end up making mistakes every now and then. So that's why it's quite important to move cautiously. So when I started trading, I already knew I'm not going to get scammed by the market, because if I can lose $100 on a trade, I can easily lose $500, $1,000, easily blow an account. So I said, okay, you know what? For this initial phase, market is going to discipline me. Market's going to scam me 100%. So let me reduce my risk so I can get as much value from that as possible. So these mistakes that I'm making don't happen again and don't cost me more money. And I think that's a mental model you gotta have like towards what you do. You see like today, I took one trade, right? I took one trade during pre-London session, and that was a loss. So I said, okay, let me move cautiously now, because there might be something happening in the market that I'm not too privy with, that I also see that prices, you know, consolidating a lot. It's not giving. So instead of like scamming myself and then giving back so much more to the market, let me just wait for a little bit more direction. Right? So when things start to clean up again, then I can say, okay, you know, now I can try again. But as of right now, it seems like this is what we got to deal with. Got to deal with price being indecisive. You see, it's thinking right now. So if you think about the market like it has its own brain. The other way, it's thinking at that daily open. You see that daily candle? It's still a doji. So it's still deciding like, what are we going to do today? We know Powell is speaking. Should we move out? Because if we crack this and we start to push up, I think that daily is going to flip. You know, we've already created such a strong bottom wick. That daily is going to flip and just keep pushing up. Get like a little bit of a wick fill going on over here. And then we'll start getting some little bit more momentum, a little bit more direction coming in. You know, and then we can ride this horse. We're going to ride this horse up there. But until then, you got to wait for the market to decide what it wants to do. Yeah, it's just hovering here. That's why I said already, if you had a profitable trade today, very well done. But that's why I think we should treat trading with some kind of a respect. You know, because some people, they're just going to think, oh, can we buy, sell? Oh, this guy's not doing anything. He's just talking, he's yapping, he's wasting time, blah, blah, blah. But because you don't treat it with respect. When you go to the dentist, Do you tell the dentist, hey, get on with it, get on with it, like hurry up, like do my teeth quickly, I don't care, just finish your job? No, you want him to take his time, man. Even when he stops, you're like, damn, are you done yet? Are you sure I'm good? Okay, perfect. Then you say thank you. You know, but you don't rush your dentist. When you're getting surgery done, you don't rush the surgeon to finish up quickly. You know, you gotta treat trading with the same kind of like clinical respect. You can't rush the market, because if the market is just not ready to go, most likely you're just going to end up getting a lot of paper cuts. And those little paper cuts, they're going to add up to your account, because what happens is you get those paper cuts, and then now when the market starts to move, you're just making back the losses that you had already taken. So it's not even fun anymore, because you're just making back the losses, and you know, maybe you get a bit of profit, but it's not fun anymore. Not that trading should be fun, but you know, at the end of the day, you kind of want to end in blues without working as hard. Barely positive to break even today. Not able to see myself in it. Yeah, and just trust me, like take it easy, because when the setup comes, it's gonna be much easier for you to make it back. Like even see on this day, let me show you guys. See, I took like on this day like four trades, but still ended the day up here in blues, because I was managing my risk of those trades. See, I still managed to end up the day over here at like, you know, $1,160. But that was 4 trades. These 2 losses, they could have been really bad losses, but I managed my risk. I just stay composed, I manage my risk, and then it's easier to make it back later. So even if you start off the day negative, you can flip that around if you just wait for the setups that you want to really take. You can still turn the day around. You just took a sell on gold. Well, I wish you the best of luck here, sir, because this is like a 50-50. You know, you have a support over here, and you also got a resistance up over here too. So you're kind of in a 50-50 zone. It's crazy how the market, everyone sees the market differently. I'm anticipating one more sweep up before we drop, because we are currently in the premium. I only look at the sweeps and discount/premium levels. I'll be right back, chat. Yeah, I think we'll hit a new high before we come down again. I think we're still due for some all-time highs today. I agree. GJ looking bullish. See GJ has been waking up of late. Oh, but it's down as well. GJ is down negative 0.10%. So there's also not much of a direction here on pound yen. So I don't know why it's looking bullish to you, but you know, price has already moved from this support. It's like it felt like some kind of a range here on the 30-minute. Broke below support to come down to retest these lows. Like small little point A to point B over there. Well, overall, GJ has been on the way up. Yeah, it's looking bullish on the daily. I agree with you if you're talking about like high time frame. High time frame does look bullish. We got 3 white soldiers of sorts over here. Massive daily open gap. And price should be heading off here towards like weekly resistance. Oh, it's already at weekly resistance. Yeah, I think that's it for GJ. I think for the rest of the week, I'm not really expecting this thing to keep breaking these highs. To be honest, we're at weekly resistance over there. See any GJPA? Some small ass. This is a small range here. From here to here. See how big this is. It's about like 10, 11 pips. See, it's accumulating. It had a small little accumulation. Looks like it's breaking out that accumulation too. Little accumulation starting to break above. It has clean traffic on the left hand side up towards this resistance. That's by 204, 459. So if price want to go up, nice little SMAs over there as well. Kind of what I would be expecting from GJ. See that hourly? Hourly's had like some kind of a move here. Let's see from the open, about 18 pips. Yeah, I think GJ, that's what I would kind of expect from GJ. Man, if gold's been hovering around this area for so long, if it breaks these lows, man, it should just distribute. It should just push with volume. Because it seems like it's retested this zone quite a few times. Pretty key area. That's why it sold off last time too. This zone where there was like a bunch of orders been traded. This time it came up, retested, daily flip, still can't flip. Thirty is rejecting resistance. Now 15. Clean range on the 15. It's like trying to take a ball away from a skilled player. Volume very thin for a European session. Yeah, our London session's been 90% of the time consolidating. Like any volume comes out of this. But yeah, like when we just came onto stream, major sideways movement, moved up. Just a small little bit over here. And then now it's accumulating again. Potentially to move down. Should have been distributing. Because that's another point A, right? It's another point A. This was a point A, and then this was a point A. Got point A, distribute, point A, distribute, point A, distribute. Alright, but at least it's showing to us that it's actually having a hard time to move up. If it's rejecting those highs again. Unless there's some kind of liquidity grab that comes out of this and then shoots up above. We might see a bearish daily candlestick closure. But when you see like previous dailies, 1, 2, 3, 4, all bullish, you kind of want to be on your toes, right? But I think like for that bullish continuation, maybe it could happen more during the New York session. And then everything from now throughout pre-NY can be like mixed bias. And then New York session is going to pick up a volume if it starts breaking above like 40-40. It's what we tend to see happen. You know, with that New York session, once it opens, we start getting a bit more of that daily direction. So it can be a mixed bias session, something of the sort like this, mixed bias. New York session opens, and then later, when we're back on stream tomorrow, we're going to see that previous daily close bullish. Potentially close bullish again. So just like here, you get a bunch of mixed bias. The New York session opens and then gives that direction for the day. This is a behavior that I don't like. See, I like breaks lows and then starts like doing this nonsense. Pulling up like this. Even if it goes down again, this is just not nice. I'll watch this push. About like 22 pips. If I took that sell, it would probably have stopped me at a break even. My stop's above some kind of a resistance here. I'd have been stopped at a break even. Are you selling it? No, not yet. Getting excited. Okay, just gonna put this thing on. See, stream numbers go up. It's like 386 here. See if it pops up to like 400. Oh, look at it. It's going up now. 395. Can we hit like 400? Can we hit 400? Come on, I hear 400 going once. Going twice. Come on, 400. Do I hear 400? Do I hear 400 in the chat? Hovering at 395. Can I get 400? 396. 397. Photo. Oh no, gone down to 390 now. Come on, just need 10 more. But if price actually moved, I'm sure that number would go up. Like if we just got like if we just got a candlestick, let's say do this, all of a sudden, pretty sure that number will go up. Why no trade? Why no trade? I don't know. Took a short right after the manipulation, higher cut loss and analysis played out. You manage your risk, you know, that's all that counts. You had a good, you know, you're a, is it the heart or the mind? Your mind was in its right place to manage your risk. And your heart was in its right place for the analysis. So I think it was pretty good that you managed. Because if that was part of your plan, you know, you can never play the victim. Because, you know, if you manage and then it goes to stop loss, you'll be happy you managed, right? But if you manage and it hits take profit, then you're going to feel bad that you managed. So, you know, you put yourself in a position that you can't win. It's just like kind of a gambling. So if you manage and whatever outcome happens from that point, that's perfect. Engineering liquidity, yes. No, I mean, I draw the trade, but you didn't take it. Why didn't you take it? What's holding you back from taking it? You know, I think what it is, right? And this is what I think it is. Because when I started trading, I also used to do that a lot. I would draw the trade, but not take it. And I think the reason is because we still don't have like a strategy we've been with long enough to build like confidence in it. Right, so that's why you haven't had enough sample sizing to see something happen over and over and over again that you just execute mindlessly. Because when you're still building a system, it's like you're just testing the waters, right? Even sometimes you see your entries going and it keeps pushing and then you're like, okay, damn, okay, now if it comes back, I'm gonna take it, right? And then it never comes back. It's already left the station. That's because we haven't yet built that execution mindset of what it means to be an actual trader. You have to execute. That's what traders do. We execute. You can't get too caught up in analysis. Leave the analysis for the analysts. You know, that's why I think also in hedge funds, you're going to have people who do the analysis and then you're going to have people who execute. You know, like, so kind of like work in a team, they work together. Because the guy who does analysis, he doesn't have that execution confidence to like take the positions, but he has amazing analysis. So the executor, we're going to look at his analysis and say, okay, you know, I think this is a good idea, or let me see how we can execute this trade now. Because there's two different skill sets, doing analysis and executing. Those are two different things. Some people, man, they're going to execute like when you're throwing a monkey bananas, they're gonna execute without even second guessing. And then you have the other monkey with the glasses. He's like the analyst, so he's gonna pick up the banana and then he's gonna look at it, he's gonna analyze it, he's gonna open it up, look at it, and then that monkey is gonna give it to an execution monkey, and then that monkey is not gonna have a problem putting that banana to good use. That's kind of how I look at it. Because when you execute like 0%, right? It's almost like a 0% mental game. It should be, well, okay, it's not fair to say it's 0%. That's a lie. Execution can be quite difficult. But once you get stuck in, it's a lot easier once you get stuck in. And the reason I'm saying why execution can still be a little bit difficult is because sometimes we rush into a trade too quickly. So if it comes like this and it doesn't break and then you execute and then it starts to go against you, like, damn, I got in too early. You know, too early. I should have waited a bit, even if price was moving up. So until that very moment that you actually get your confirmation and price breaks the way you want to see it break, past that point is the easiest, because you already know how you're going to manage your trade. You know where you're going to take your profits. That is the easiest. But getting stuck in is quite difficult. Although all it requires you to do is hit a button once you're done with 90% of it, which is just execution. I mean, which is analysis. You analyze, that's the setup, perfect. Now it's the execution. I think I'm the monkey with the glasses. Because, you know, that's how it is, right? Like, even if you look... This is why I really like this meme over here of Leonardo DiCaprio pointing. He's like the execution monkey, right? He's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. There it is. There it is. So you know exactly what to do. As soon as it comes, you know exactly what to do. When the setup sets up and it breaks what it needs to break, you know exactly what you need to do. Because the hard part, like most of the hard part is also kind of done at that point, which is majority of that analysis is a hard part. You know, the waiting, the being patient, watching markets. And then when it comes, take it. Take it. That's why you see sometimes here on stream, we're going to have our trades literally on that 1 minute into stream. Sometimes 1 minute into stream, 5 minutes into stream. You see this day, this is 1 minute into stream. We got our trade and we took it. Simple, easy dubs. And look, I'm pretty sure those are like even more the winning trades. The ones which just like show themselves early and you just know. I'm pretty sure if we do some sample sizing here, we can see those have a pretty nice hit rate. Oh, that one's a break even there. That was 7 minutes into it. Let's take some more recent ones. 7 minutes W. Those are a bit longer. These other ones. See, 12 minutes. Oh, lost on that one. I guess it's not fair to use the time thing because that setup can come literally at any time. But those are my favorite though. The ones when we just start stream and just execute, those are the best ones, I feel. Because we also got that London Open confluence. But yeah, chat, like, just be patient, just be a little bit disciplined. Don't let the market rush you, you know. I'm not going to let the market rush me. I'm going to wait for it to actually move from here and then see how I can actually take a position. But for right now, it's definitely not looking good. So I'm going to wait for it to come down. Come down or let it just do what it needs to do. Give me some sense of direction. And then can look to start taking positions possibly. Got like a support here. You got resistance here. This is the overall range that we're trading in between. That's the daily open. Down 0.12%. Consolidating within this 207 pip range. So what I think is maybe price is going to come down to retest these lows. Over here, it's going to come back down to retest because it's moving sideways. This is possibly the range that we hold until a Powell speaks. Possibly. That's the only thing that we have in store for us today. So just be a little bit cautious here. And I will see you all for Freaky Friday tomorrow. Adios. Thank you guys. And see you then.
Now we bout to dip. My boy said the style.